I'm going to start with saying that there's one thing you need to stop doing. Now, a huge problem with marketing, especially when you have a company who has a team, and often people at the top want to get their team involved, which is good, but not always, because the amount of times I've been in meetings myself or had clients who have had these meetings where if there's 8 people around a table and your job there is to look at a design or look at a website or look at a piece of marketing and give feedback on it, having a load of people in a room is not a good thing. Because what happens, and you know this for a fact, there's a couple of people in that meeting who are very vocal. They're the ones pretty much talking about what they like, they want to change, blah, 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 blah. And then what happens is, once you get around the table, everybody there is going to say, I don't like this. So there's not a case of, so even if people will start picking at things, because if you get around the table and you have this meeting where one person hasn't talked, they're going to get to a point where, oh God, they're thinking they're going to wrap up this meeting in a minute and I haven't said anything. God, they're going to think my job is useless and they're going to fire me. Right. I don't like this and don't like this. Could we tweak this and make that bigger? You need to avoid this because people will start throwing their opinion in when it's not really needed. Where you want to get everybody in the team involved is coming up with the brief for your marketing. I'm talking about those meetings are a nightmare when you're pretty much almost there. You've got everything you need. You just need to get it live. And just tweaking starts happening. Let's make the logo bigger. No, put it back. And this can go on for weeks. So what you need to do is work together to come up with a brief that say, we need to design a website that does this, and this. Then when your marketing person or your designer or whoever's done it sends something back to you, all you need to do is just look at it and says, does it fill this brief? Yes, it gets this message across. Yes, it gets this. Yes, it looks like this. Yes, it's got this brand colors, blah, blah, blah. And then get it out there because it's the public who's going to decide if your marketing is good or not you guys in a meeting room. You need to get it to a point where it meets all your brief and you've spell checked it. Get it live. Test it small. Send it to a couple of people. Split test it on pages, or designs. Send to a small list something which says it, and then this which goes to a different list which says something slightly differently to see which works, and then the public decide if it's good or not. Because if you spend weeks backing into it, tweaking, or make the logo bigger, smaller, no, put it back again, and then you get it out and the public don't like it, you've wasted your time. You've not just time, but a lot of money. If you're paying staff and you're paying the marketing people to constantly amend things, waste of time and money. And you might think, why the hell is there a camel behind me? And what that means is, have you ever heard the analogy of a camel is a horse designed by committee? So instead of just getting a horse and just letting it run on a racetrack and seeing if it's fast, they got a bunch of people together who didn't want to be fired, so they went in a room and went, well, it might get cold, so give it some fur. It needs a self-defense mechanism. Maybe we should make it spit. Yeah, brilliant, Simon. Maybe it should, it's going to get thirsty, give it some lumps. Rather than just letting it run on a racetrack to see if it's fast. Do you see what I mean? And everybody's marketing is the same when you have meetings about meetings. They're the worst. Have you ever had a meeting which is going to talk about what they're going to talk about in the next meeting? What a waste of time. So you need to get to a point, it's all about the pre-production. Make a brief, which this is what you wanted to get across in your marketing. So even if you get to a point where you're not completely happy with it, and it's not perfect, but it does follow the brief. If it was ticked off all this and I'm not sure about it, let's test it smaller, get it to a small list of people and see what they think of it. If people come back to you and say you don't get much from it, then you understand that does need some tweaking, but you haven't really wasted any time and money because you've done it to a small list. If it works, great, bam, let's do it to the whole list. And that's how you get your marketing out there quicker. It's not, if you think about it, if you ever worked with an external agency, It's not the doing of things which takes ages. It's obviously in the planning, but it's usually the backing and toing at the end, and things drag out for a week. This is especially the case with websites, where it just goes on and on and on, because there wasn't a thought of it going in the beginning. We just wanted it to look pretty and kind of do this, and then you get it back, and then it's, oh, wouldn't it be great to add this and work out your brief and get that watertight, where you want it to, this is what I wanted to do, this is what I wanted to say, this is kind of what I want it to look like. Here's a couple of examples of other things people have done in the past which I like it on a style like that. Then when you get it back, does it meet that brief? Because you put that effort to it and you weren't wrong, and get it out there, small, test how you're doing, and that is how things work. That's how things get out there quickly, and that's how you get effective marketing, because you haven't decided if it's good, the public's decided it's good. Perfection is impossible, but you can get it pretty good if other people decide it's good for you.